Good morning, Year 4. This is your reading lesson for this week. So, I'm just going to show you a little part of the text from the beginning, and what I want you to really think about is anything you already know from the text, any clues. So first of all, the text is called The Wave, and it's from Robin Johnson at provider.com to Daniel Johnson at provider.com. The date is the 28th of December 2004. The time is 12:34 p.m. and the subject says, I'm alive. So I want you to pause the video for a moment and think about what do you already know and what do you think the text is going to be about. Okay, so I already know that it's from a girl called Robin, and a last name is Johnson. It's being sent to somebody else called Daniel Johnson. So I'm going to infer that she is sending it to somebody else in her family. The subject is I'm alive, which maybe shows us that she's doing something dangerous and maybe they think she might be in danger. And from this part here, the wave, I'm going to guess that maybe it's something to do with the sea or the beach. Right, let's have a read together. So as I read, I want you to read it out loud with me. Hi, Mum and Dad. First, I want you to know that Kelsey and I are safe. I am sure that you must have been going crazy with worry over the last few days. I'm sorry it has taken me this long to get a message to you. The phone lines are down or being clogged by thousands of people trying to do the same thing. Reassure loved ones. I lost my mobile phone when it hit. This is the only way I could think to get in touch for the time being. The internet is patchy here, so I'm hoping this will send. It's so horrible here. I wish I could come home. The doctors and nurses are trying their hardest, but there are just too many injuries to deal with. It's only been 2 days since it happened. Hopefully, it will start to ease off over the next few days. I'm sure you can imagine just how terrifying the whole thing was. We were on the beach, about to have a morning swim, when we felt the ground start to shake. The next thing we knew, everybody was screaming and running. We saw people trampling others to get past. We had no idea what was happening, but we knew it was serious. I don't know what would have happened if we'd been asleep or in the sea. Some people weren't so lucky. I wasn't thinking of anything but saving us both from being crushed at that point. I told Kelsey to head for the field at the back of the hotel where there was more space. We didn't make it. The noise was horrific. I thought it was people screaming at first, but it was the sound of the tsunami crashing into the hotel behind us. Something hit me on the head when the wave struck. I wasn't knocked out, just dazed. I remember seeing Kelsey holding desperately onto a palm tree as I was swept past. Everything I tried to grab just slipped through my fingers. At that point, I felt sure I was going to drown. I got lucky. Something hard hit me on my back and knocked the air from my lungs. I tried to see what it was, but the water was pressing me so hard against it that I couldn't turn. I could see Kelsey still, but she was too far to reach. By now, the flow of water had started to ease off slightly, and I turned around. I'd been washed into a billboard by the side of the main road. We were nearly half a mile from the hotel. I swam over to Kelsey as soon as the water was slow enough, and we made our way back to where our hotel had been. Everything had been devastated. One of the medical people told us that he thinks there are tens of thousands of people who died. Both of us are just feeling so blessed to have made it. Anyway, I've got to go. Somebody else needs to use the computer. I'll tell you the rest when I get home. All my love, Robin. So just going back to some of the things I had worked out from this first page, it was something to do with the sea. And when I spoke about being somebody in the family, this was to Mum and Dad. So when you think if you were emailing, your mum's email or your dad's email is not going to be Mum or Dad, is it's going to be their name. So we've worked that out. Now we know why the subject is I'm alive. So this is from when the tsunami hit and it would have been all over the news. I can also work out a few things from the text, so I can see that clearly they've either gone on holiday or travelling because they're staying in a hotel and they're saying they can't wait to get home. So I'm just going to write some I wonders. So I wonder how long the characters have been away from home. I wonder how they felt at the time of the tsunami. What I want you to do now is pause the video and write some I wonders of your own. Okay, we're going to have a look at some of the questions together now. So you've got more questions than usual today, so it might take you slightly longer. So this one we've discussed slightly together, haven't we? Why does the author start by saying that they are safe? Why do you think? So I gave you a little clue before, so if we go right to the beginning. First, I want you to know that Kelsey and I are safe. Okay, so if it's such a big tragedy, it would have been all over the news, the mum and dad might be really, really worried about them. Okay, and they might not have had chance. They've said the internet's not very good there. It might have taken them a few days, maybe a couple of weeks to even let them know that they're okay. So for number one, I would be able to say, because Kelsey's mum and dad would have been concerned or would have been worried, it may have been on the news. Let's have a look. So let's look at this one. Which word tells you that there isn't the best internet service? Now I'm going to scan for the word internet. So I am not going to go and read right from the beginning of the text. I'm going to cast my eyes quickly and I'm going to look for the word internet. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Internet. So I found internet. I'm just going to go back to the question to remind me what I'm looking for. Which word tells you that there isn't the best internet service? Okay, so here I've spotted it. The internet is patchy here. It's just one word I'm looking for is patchy. So I would just type, or you would write down patchy. Okay, I want you to have a go at the questions on your own.